go along with our lemon chicken, we're going to have some cherry tomatoes. And some baby plum tomatoes. All we're going to do with these is give them a drizzle of olive oil. A nice sprinkle of sea salt. Preferably flaked. I've not got flakes in the cupboard at the minute, so this is going to have to do. So we're just going to get the lemon juice ready for the sauce. Just going to slice these lemons, juice them in the old-fashioned juicer. You can use your posh shiny electric thing if you like. I've no bloody clue where ours is. A lot of recipes call for millilitres, pints, gallons, call it what you will. I say, let's see how much juice comes out of these lemons and we'll work with that. You see the old stoppers starting to get a bit full. We're just going to get rid of that along with the pit, along with the peel again. Well, that's something they never show you on the telly, is it? Now, the sweet part of this, we're going to be using stevia instead of sugar for a healthier option. Why the hell we've not been using it for decades, I don't know. Stevia is all natural, as is sugar till it's refined, I suppose, but there'd be a lot less people around with diabetes if we were using stevia than sugar itself. You actually grow stevia plants yourself. The folks have got some in the garden centre here. Actually, some studies out there do show that stevia the body reacts positively to. People with diabetes can have improvement in their symptoms using stevia instead of sugar. So the sauce is going to be really simple. What we're going to do is cook the chicken in some butter, get it cooked 3 parts through, then add the lemon juice. Along with the lemon juice we're going to add some dried tarragon, because that's what we've got at the moment. The tarragon plant decided to put its toes up in the air and die. So we're going to be using the dried stuff. Measurements we're using are how much we get, a slack handful and to taste. And then we're going to cook the chicken in the sauce until the chicken itself is done thoroughly, right the way through. We're going to give it a final taste test, a final bit of seasoning, whether that be sweetening or a little bit of salt or whatever. We have got some onions cooked through that are left from another dish. And being as this is all about saving money, let's use what we've already cut into, shall we? So there we go, a couple of bags supermarket lemons has given us, for those obsessed with numbers, just over half a pint of lemon juice. Smashing job. So I'll go over to the cooking part now and we'll start getting this chicken on the go. Okay, so I'm going to do a basic lemon chicken. Take, get the gas on, decent amount of heat under it, probably about 1/3 of a block of butter. Don't be shy, butter won't hurt you. Butter in fact gets the blame for what sugar's done over the years. What I'm going to do as well is find a small pan, because I want to do a vegetarian version of the sauce for my eldest. She's gone over to the dark side, so you can hear the butter starting to fizz and sizzle a wee bit in the bottom of this pan now. So what I am going to do is put a little bit of olive oil in there. The two combined don't burn quite so easily. So we've got that, so all the butter's melted now and it's foaming away nicely. We'll start whacking our chicken in. Give it a good stir around. I do like these big old cast iron stewing pots, are really useful. I'd rather use these in a normal pan. Got about half in at the moment. What I'm going to do is just keep it at that for a few minutes, let the heat build back up, get it nicely sealed on all sides. Whack the lid on for a minute, just let that heat build up inside. And pop a little bit of tarragon in with the chicken while it's cooking. Tarragon and chicken are real good together. But where I want most of the tarragon is in the sauce in a little while. Got heated the lid on, just hoping that chicken to cook through that a little bit quicker. We want to make sure it's done because we don't want no telly belly, do we? So we're getting to the point now where the chicken is all fairly well sealed. I'll whack that back on, keep the heat in, turn on another ring, and turn that down just to keep the chicken sizzling away, simmering away, whatever way you want to put it. And he can jump on there for a minute. Now this smaller pan is where we're going to make the base of the sauce. So again, we've got a bit of butter going away in there. Remove all the utensils that we've used for meat. Get a fresh spoon out. This is going to be the main batch of sauce, and from this we're going to be taking the veggie section, or the veggie portion. This is proper butter. She's a veggie, not a complete weirdo, don't be vegan. I'm going to put a good dollop of the lemon juice in. We'll let that come up to temperature while we steep a bit of tarragon in there. Don't be shy with the tarragon, it's not a hugely strong flavour. It does go really well with the chicken and complement it even if you think you put too much. You're keeping some heat going into that, keeping that tarragon steeping to get the flavours of the lemon and the tarragon working together. Turn it down a bit now, it's just before boiling so it's going to steep quite nicely. Now we've used half the lemon juice, we've got that tarragon steeping. Where's the rice in it? So we're going to go with roughly that much stevia, wait till that's fully dissolved, then we're going to give it a taste. That's coming up well, it's got quite a tang to it, and that tarragon's coming through with allowing it to steep for a little while. So I personally think that could use a little more oomph, so I may even put a bit of chilli in it shortly. Try just a bit more stevia. Still want it steeping for a while because that chicken's still going to take a little while to do. Fresh spoon, that's better. Well, got that tang and that kick of the lemons, but a nice sweet back flavour to it. I'm going to whack these onions in, they're already partly cut down, there's a few peppers in there as well, so all them sugars are released in there. And this will just give a little bit of roundness to the dish. Going to check on our chicken. There we go, there's plenty of fluid in there as well. With the fluid out of the chicken, turn that right down so it doesn't overcook. And out of the butter, I'll leave the lid off for a minute or two so that it steam and lose a little bit of that fluid. This is where the balancing act comes in. Turn our saucepan up again. Most of the rest of the lemon juice. I just want to save a little bit back in case I oversweeten. If you do oversweeten, you've run out of lemon juice, you can always use a little bit of salt to take the sweet edge off. Those onions and peppers are nicely soft again now. They're already 3 parts cooked, as I say. And whack in a bit more stevia. The rice on. Nothing special, just a standard brown basmati. It's heavy on the spoons this game, but another wee test. Nice. It needs a bit more basmati, but again we're overpowering the tarragon a little bit now. And we'll just let that poodle away to itself for a few minutes. Check on them tomatoes. Them tomatoes are done. Like you see, they're starting to break down nicely. Nice bit of caramelisation on there. That is not burnt, it is caramelised. Plant-based pâtés. Plant chef, these are, so we'll see what she makes of that. Sauce is coming up to the boil, lovely. Chicken is done. Now to thicken, we're just going to use a little bit of cream of tartare. Okay, we're using a little bit of cream of tartare to thicken the sauce because you don't have to mess about with it like you do corn flour, and it doesn't spoil the clarity of the sauce. Not that we're doing anything special, but I'm going to put some in with the chicken itself as well because there's quite a bit of fluid in there now. When we add the sauce in a little bit, it will be too runny, so just throw some of that in. You could use a butter and flour mix instead of doing this, or you could start with some flour in the base of the pan when you start your cook. There's a couple of alternatives. Because cooking that butter up with the flour does make a really nice thick sauce from base. That one to me is just about right. I'm going to continue thickening up the chicken a little bit. Then all that remains is for this sauce to go over the chicken, saving a bit for over the veggie meal. So when I've plated up in a little bit, we will have another look, and then I shan't be filming as I enjoy it. Oh, probably may not enough. There's the veggie one.
Is that one being?
That's
Hi.
how about you move out the camera's way?
Oh, is it on? Oh my god, I hit my face out. Oh my god.
What's the face that was a problem with the back of your head?
Oh my god. I know, it does feel like that, and you can see my face.
Scooby-Doo got doing?
You do whichever you like.
Thank you.
That's what I use it up
Might as well, huh? We weren't sure whether we were eating more than sweetness. Should have spoken to Mum all day.
Sure. No, because she thought there was something over here. What's up? There's nothing as far as I know. There we go.
All you got to do now is keep the cat out of here.
Yes.
You take yours and I'll
Right,
take whichever's.
smash it. Well, I've got to come round and turn the camera off. So.
That's a bit.
There we go. Now you see it, in a minute you won't.